First tonight, a paroled sex offender who had condoms in his car and a knife in his trunk will head to trial after an Ottawa County judge determined today that there was enough evidence to proceed.
60-year-old Gregory Dujardin faces a second-degree criminal sexual conduct charge after investigators say he followed a woman from a Grand Haven park back in September. Investigators say he purposely hit her car and then assaulted her when she pulled into a Port Sheldon Township gas station to look at damage.
News 8 has been following this story closely for months, and we have learned concerning details expressed last year from an area judge prior to Dujardin's parole hearing.
News 8's Megan Bunchman has more on what we know.
This will be the third time Gregory Dujardin goes to trial for criminal sexual conduct charges. This comes as News 8 has obtained new documents today that reveal warning signs that were flagged during Dujardin's parole board hearing last November. A convicted sex offender was back in court Wednesday.
The individual that you interacted with, do you see that person in court today?
As a 24-year-old mother of 3 testified in tears about what happened to her back in September of this year. Deputies say this man, Gregory Dujardin, purposely followed his lady from a park in Grand Haven that Sunday evening, hit her bumper with his own car, and when she pulled over a short time later to check for damage, he sexually assaulted her.
Yeah, he initially told me after she had slapped him, but he also talked about approaching her and how he had put his arm around her back and her shoulders, and then his other hand, his right hand, by her the waistline.
Documents obtained by News 8 reveal Dujardin has a history of assaulting women, having been convicted back in 1986 and then again in 1989 of similar offenses. And now new tonight, a transcript from Dujardin's parole board hearing back on November 2nd of last year. In it, the board notes an objection raised by Judge Karen Miedema about Dujardin's potential parole and red flags identified in Dujardin's behavior during a psychological exam. Specifically, the board heard about concerns over Dujardin's, quote, hostility towards women, sexual drive preoccupation, and deviant sexual preferences. Dujardin himself testified about his substance abuse back in the 80s and his need to, quote, control his past victims and, quote, satisfy his own personal needs. Still, the board granted parole to this now 60-year-old man after he served 35 years for those 2 crimes. As for his latest alleged charge,
he had made a statement at the end that said, I'm going to go for life on this one.
Dujardin is expected to be back in court next month. For more information on this ongoing case, head on over to our website, woodtv.com. In Holland, I'm Megan Bunchman, News 8.